Have you ever heard of a book in the Bible that's only one chapter long? It's the book of Obadiah. And it's the shortest book in the Old Testament. But don't let its size fool you. This little book packs a huge punch. It tells the story of two nations, two brothers, and a powerful lesson about pride and betrayal that still resonates with us today. The story begins with a man named Obadiah. We don't know much about him personally, but we know he was a messenger of God and trusted with a direct and heavy word. His message wasn't for Israel or Judah, but for a neighboring nation called Edom. Now, the relationship between Israel and Edom was complicated. They were brother nations, descended from the twin brothers Jacob and Esau. You might remember their story from Genesis' story of rivalry, deception, and a birthright sold for a bowl of stew. Jacob became the father of the nation of Israel, and Esau, the father of the Edom. For centuries, a deep-seated tension simmered between them. The Edomites lived in a remarkable place. Their home was a rugged, mountainous region south of the Dead Sea. They carved their cities directly into the rose-red cliffs, creating fortresses in the sky. Think of the ancient city of Petra, with its famous treasury building cut from solid rock that was part of Edom's territory. They lived high up, looking down on the world, and this physical elevation fueled a dangerous spiritual pride. They said to themselves, "Who can bring us down to the ground?" They felt untouchable, secure in their rocky strongholds, believing they were beyond the reach of any enemy. Their hearts were filled with arrogance. This pride became their downfall. A day of disaster struck their brother nation, Israel. The city of Jerusalem was attacked. Its walls were broken down, and its people were carried away into exile. It was a moment of immense suffering and humiliation for Israel. And what did their brother nation, Edom, do? Did they remember their shared ancestry? Did they show compassion? No. Obadiah's message reveals their shocking response. The Edomites stood aloof. They watched from a distance and did nothing to help. But it was worse than just standing by. They actually rejoiced at Israel's destruction. They gloated over their brother's pain. The Bible says they looked on with satisfaction on the day of their brother's misfortune. Their cruelty didn't stop there. As refugees from Israel tried to escape the violence, the Edomites stood at the crossroads and cut them off, handing them over to their enemies. They even went into the fallen city and looted what was left, taking advantage of their brother's complete vulnerability. It was the ultimate act of betrayal, driven by centuries of resentment and a heart hardened by pride. They saw their brother's lowest moment as an opportunity for their own gain. This is when God sends Obadiah with a message of judgment. God speaks directly to Edom's pride. The pride of your heart has deceived you, you who live in the clefts of the rocks and make your home on high. God tells them, "Though you soar like the eagle and make your nest among the stars, from there I will bring you down." Their high fortresses, the source of their security and arrogance, would not save them from God's justice. The very thing they trusted in would be meaningless. God's judgment against Edom was a perfect reflection of their sin. They had betrayed their allies, and now their own allies would turn against them. They had looted their brother, and now they would be plundered completely. The very wisdom they were known for would vanish. God promised to wipe out the wise men from Edom and the understanding from the mountains of Esau. Every bit of their pride would be stripped away until nothing was left. Why? Obadiah makes it crystal clear. Because of the violence against your brother Jacob, you will be covered with shame. You will be destroyed forever. God holds them accountable not just for their actions, but for their inaction, for their heartless attitude. When their family was in crisis, this story serves as a powerful warning about the danger of pride. Pride convinces us that we are self-sufficient, that we don't need anyone else, not even God. It hardens our hearts to the suffering of others and can even lead us to rejoice in their downfall. Edom's story shows us that God sees the attitude of our hearts, and he opposes the proud. But the book of Obadiah doesn't end with judgment and destruction. Like so many prophetic books, it concludes with a message of hope and restoration. After describing the fall of Edom, the prophecy pivot. It speaks of a future day, the day of the Lord, which will be a day of judgment for all proud nations, but a day of deliverance for God's people. The prophecy declares that the house of Jacob, who had been brought so low, will be restored. They will possess their own inheritance again, and they will even possess the lands of their enemies, including the mountains of Edom. The final verse of this short book is one of the most powerful declarations of hope in the entire Old Testament. It says, "Deliverers will go up on Mount Zion to govern the mountains of Esau, and the kingdom will be the Lord's." This is the ultimate conclusion. In the end, after all the human pride, betrayal, and conflict, God's kingdom will prevail. Justice will be done, the humbled will be lifted up, and the Lord himself will reign as the one true king over all. So, this tiny book of Obadiah teaches us two huge lessons. First, it's a stark warning against pride and a reminder to show compassion, especially to those who are suffering. We are called to be helpers, not spectators. Second, it's a powerful promise that no matter how dark things get, no matter how much injustice we see in the world, God is in control. His justice will ultimately win, his people will be restored, and his kingdom will stand forever. It's a message that was true for Edom and Israel thousands of years ago, and it's a message of hope that is still true for us today. Thanks so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the powerful stories of the Bible. See you next time.